doing stand-up, you don't get deemed funny. You know what I mean? There's no ceremony. Nobody smites you with a sword, you know, or goes, ha-ha, you can now go forth and be funny. You just believe you're funny, and you are. And this guy proves that every night I watch him. So please welcome Mr. Scott MacNeil. Give him that.
Thank you. Let's give a little hand for Tony. Appreciate it, Tony. Thank you for the clap. Growing up, my parents really wanted to stimulate my intellect, and they were more focused on topics like philosophy as opposed to geography, which explains why they would give me such child books as Why is Waldo? I have a twin brother who's kind of slow. In fact, he's 2 years younger than me. I had a sad moment in my childhood. I went up to my parents and I said, I think my new doll is broken. And I said, when I pull the string, he said, no, Scott, you misunderstand. This doll is more advanced, but this one, when you pull the string, it listens. My mom took me aside one day and she said, Scott, did you ever stop to think that that boy that you tease at school has feelings too? And I said, well, I should hope so. If not, then all my bullying has been for nothing. When I played high school sports, other kids' parents would cheer them on, or like, you can win, or go team. Not my family. They stood on the sidelines holding up a big sign that said, fail now and we can beat the traffic. Someone asked if I can ride a bike with no hands, and I said, gee, I don't know. I've always had them. And I live in such a tough neighborhood. When the police send out a cruiser that says K9, they don't have a dog. It means they only handle kindergarten through 9th grade. I've been handing out brochures supporting pro-ignorance. I encourage everyone not to read them. My therapist suggested I start keeping a daily journal, and things have been going so poorly for me, I went out and bought a downward spiral notebook. I read a book called When Someone You Love Is Depressed, and the book helped me quite a bit. Now, thanks to that book, I no longer love that person. This guy I know came over to me and he said, you know, Scott, I'm really worried. I said, about what? And he said, I'm pretty sure I'm bipolar. I said, come on, no way, absolutely not. You are definitely not bipolar. And he said, how can you be so certain? And I said, because I've known you for over 10 years, and not once have I ever seen you in a good mood. I was talking with another friend, and he's telling me, he said, I'm getting ready to go to Hawaii. And I said, oh really, going to Hawaii for a vacation? And he said, no, I'm going to Hawaii for the winter. And I said, well, you're going to be pretty disappointed, because Hawaii doesn't get a winter. My accountant was locked in a freezer overnight. When I found him in the morning, he was cold and calculating. I took an overdose of memory pills, and I've been reminiscing about the future. You know, the Rolling Stones are incredible. But I mean, even so, I mean, how long can you pretend like you're still 55? Back when I was in college, a lot of students experimented with mushrooms. Not me, I used to do magic carrots. Because the hallucinations were so crystal clear. I got in some trouble for walking around a department store in my socks and underwear. Turns out I just misunderstood the sales sign that said take up to 70% off. I saw this stunning looking woman wearing a very unusual dress made out of carpet, tile, and linoleum. And I was very curious, so I went over to her and I said, excuse me, but what are you supposed to be? She said, why, I'm a floor model. I snapped last week. I went into a rage. I went crazy. I lost my own mind. I almost broke my own arm because I'm a very jealous narcissist. And I didn't like the way I was looking at me. I used to date a woman who collected magazines, but I had to break up with her. She had too many issues. I was talking with this woman, and she said, I'm an artist. I was like, an artist? I said, well, that can mean all sorts of things. What does it mean to you? She said, well, I spend a lot of time outside painting the scenery. And I said, I don't get it. I said, you mean you don't like the colors it already is? My friend and I are very competitive, and for example, we went to this nightclub one night, and later on in the evening he came over to me, and he said, Scott, he said, you see that stunning looking woman right across the room over there? And I said, yeah. He said, well, as soon as we got here, she gave me her phone number. I said, really? Well, I just finished talking with her. She gave me her phone. You know, sometimes it's also bad luck to see the bride after the wedding. My wife said, Scott, I love lying in bed next to you. I said, oh, really? And what do you typically lie about? She said for our 7th anniversary to just get her something practical, so I bought her a book called Surviving Infidelity. She told me one day, she said, you know, I don't like your drinking. And I said, okay, well then tell me whose drinking you do like, and I'll try to model myself after them. The other day I was in the middle of a job interview, and the human resource person leaned forward and interrupted me, and they said, Scott, you should know, we do random drug testing. And I said, no way, you're kidding. I said, me too. As a matter of fact, I'm a little bit tested right now. I'm going to turn you back over to Tony.